Dear students, today we will study about the second part of phytogeography, that is vegetational types of India. So, in previous class we generally discussed about the major concepts related to phytogeography. Today we will study about the some particular characteristics of some types of areas in our country. So, coming to our portion, that is the vegetational types of India. So, geographically India is considered as a tropical country. Why? Because the tropical line is passing through our country. That is why we are facing the tropical climatic conditions, and most probably from this map itself we can identify how this tropical line is passing through our near center of the of our country, and it is touching these many 8 states of our country. So, at the same time the whole of Gangetic plain lies or present outside the tropical area. So, according to many workers, for example, Champion in 1938 and Forsberg in 1961 attempted the structural groups of vegetation in India. So, according to them we can see Indian vegetation is in fact a varied assemblage of plant communities. Then how or by using proper method, how we can categorize the vegetational types of India, that is like that of trees, shrubs, grassland area and seashore plantation vegetations. Likewise in India, we can, it's peninsular India, we are getting a wide variety of climatic variations. So, how we can able to categorize the vegetational types of India, it's a bitter confusion. And according to Forsberg in 1961, he tries to classify the vegetational types in 3 heads, that is closed vegetation, open vegetation and sparse vegetation. So, it is nothing but it is closed vegetation means trees are considered as the topmost canopy classification. That is because it is covering the entire, if suppose a thick forest is there, the forest trees, the percentage of forest trees in that area is more, then the vegetation can be considered as closed vegetation due to the full coverage of the trees canopy, and it is covering the lower vegetational types like shrubs, herbs and grass. So, it is such a forest or a plant vegetation type is called as closed vegetation. Open vegetation means example grass or semi-arid forest types, we can consider it as open vegetation, and sparse vegetation means it is a mixed type of vegetation, that is here and there we can see that area is with a sparsely oriented larger trees. So, it is not at all covering any vegetation. Then here and there we can see grasslands or open areas. Such a vegetation type is called sparse vegetation. So, it is a type of classification of a vegetational types of a particular area, that is closed, open and sparse vegetation. Then next we will study what are the vegetation types of India. Now, how, in which way in India, that is according to this Forsberg 1961 classification is a very previously created a type of vegetation. Now, the vegetation types of India is divided as forests, grasslands, vegetation of ponds and lakes, vegetation of seashore. Okay. So, this is the accepted classification now existing. What are they? The vegetational types of India can be divided into forests, grasslands, vegetation of ponds and lakes, vegetation of seashore. So, we will study one by one. First, we will discuss about forests of India, and Indian forests fall under 5 botanical divisions, namely evergreen, deciduous, dry, hill forest, tidal or littoral forest. This evergreen forests are seen in normally in our area, that is in Western Ghats and Eastern Sub-Himalayas region, and likewise deciduous forests are monsoon forests found in Deccan Plateau. That is when enough rain is available, we can see fully flourished forest condition. When it is approaching a dry climatic condition, that is completely the forest area is shedding their leaves. Forests that plants are deciduous in nature. So dry forests are seen in arid regions like desert areas of Rajasthan and some part of the Punjab. Likewise, that is there we can get annual rainfall is between 30 and 40 inches. Then such a forest we can consider it as dry forest. Hill forests are found in South India at an altitude of 1500 meter, and also in Himalayas that is above 900 meters. Tidal or littoral forests are found near to estuaries of rivers and some forest waterlogged areas. So anyway, this is an old type of classification, that is like evergreen forest, dry forest, hill forest and tidal or littoral forest. But now that is accepted type of forest classification is this one, that is moist tropical forest, dry tropical forest, mundane subtropical forest, mundane temperate forest, subalpine forest, alpine scrub forests likewise. So to adjust the space here, I have not added forest for every type. When you are answering the question, should write fully, that is moist tropical forest, dry tropical forest, mundane subtropical forest, mundane temperate, subalpine, alpine. This is the order. First moist, then dry, mundane, coming under mundane two types, mundane subtropical, mundane temperate, then subalpine, alpine. Okay. So likewise, what are these, what are the meaning of this, we will going to study in next slides. That is, first we are discussing about the forest vegetation types of India. Okay. And present condition, it is divided into 6 categories. Okay. What is the meaning of that first one? That is moist tropical forest. That it consists of many evergreen species which is normally found in Assam, Western Ghats and Andaman Nicobar, Andaman Islands. Okay. Then it's a very and in this area we can see that evergreen nature of forest. This is a photograph itself, it is evident. That is, it is with that area is with plenty of rainfall and humus, and we can see flourished growth of trees. So it's a closed system because it's a thick, very thick canopy of trees we can see. Okay, dominant vegetational type is here, it is trees. So such, that is the first category of forest, that is moist tropical forest. And next we can see dry tropical forest. That is, here we can see this deciduous condition, that is, it includes the northern forest found in the arid zones of Rajasthan, Punjab, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Okay. So it is coming under the second category of forest, that is dry tropical forest. Then mundane subtropical forest, that is found at altitudes between 750 and 1800 meters in height. Okay. In the normally found in the Nilgiri area in Himalayas. There we can see a cool climate and the coniferous, most of the coniferous or gymnosperms we can found in that area, and also mesophytic trees. But most probably we can see this, it's a cool climatic condition, it's favorable for the growth, and it is in between 750 and 1800 meter height. Then the fourth one, that is mundane temperate forest, that is altitude is between 1800 and 2700 meters. It's a very somewhat very colder areas. When the annual rainfall is high, that is 125 to 200 centimeters. It's a very, from this photograph itself we can see it's a very lush green thick forest. But see this leaves most probably gymnospermic and small leaves, not broad leaved trees. Then the fifth one, that is subalpine forest, that is elevation is between 2700 and 3500 meters. It's very top area, consists of dense vegetation of trees or large shrubs. Here we can see this, here and there we can see this sparse vegetation and mixed vegetation we can see. Okay. And here and there we can see this grasslands also. Then sixth one, that is the topmost part, that is the altitude above 3500 meters, that is only the area in our country is Himalayas. There we can see this open grasslands, see this. And this is first one with the flowers, that is a favorable climatic condition. Here it is dry and just before the snowfall. Okay. And here it is completely dry area due to the extreme cold climatic conditions. That is the 6 types of forests, that is alpine scrub forest, subalpine forest, mundane temperate forest, mundane subtropical, then dry, then moist. Okay. So this is the forest types of our country. Then second one, that second vegetational type is grasslands. So it is a community dominated by grasses or grass-like plants. Then it is called grasslands. Normally grasslands are otherwise called as savannas. In India, there are different types of grassy flats and grassy plants in Nilgiris, Khasi hills and Naga hills. And these 3 areas where we can see the natural grasslands. If suppose we are completely utilizing the evergreen forest and we are cutting trees, normally we are changing the evergreen forest area to a grassland. It is not grassland then. And naturally occurring grasslands we can see in 3 areas in our country, that is Nilgiris, Khasi hills and Naga hills. And the grasslands can be divided into 3 categories: xerophilous grasslands, mesophilous grasslands and hydrophilous grasslands. The name itself we can see the meaning of this: xerophytic climatic condition, then xerophilous, mesophytic and waterlogged. So this grasslands are of 3 kinds. What are they? Xerophilous, mesophilous and hydrophilous grasslands. And this photograph itself, it is explained, that is we can see this dry area and it is with this desert grass types. Then it is xerophilous grasslands, and the common species we can see is Andropogon, then Cencrus species, that is these are the some Poaceae members, that is the some grass types, and normally it is found in the desert climatic conditions. So the grassland which is with such desert climatic condition and also xerophytic plants, then the grassland is called as xerophilous grasslands. Then mesophilous, these are otherwise called actually savanna. Okay. That is we can see a lush green live grasslands, and that is the floor is completely, forest floor is completely covering with this green grasses, and so they are called as savanna, SAVANNAHS, savannas. Then there we can see extensive glassy flats or glassy plains and seen in the moist deciduous forests of Uttar Pradesh. A normal natural savanna we can see Uttar Pradesh. So dominant species includes, that is Saccharum species, Saccharum munya, then Saccharum naringa, etc. These are the types of grasses in the Savannah area. Then next, hydrophilous grasslands, that is, these are wet savannas. Here also we can see that green, green, lush green or flourished growth of grasses, and but it's a wet savanna. Here and there we can see water lodged areas, and the types of grasses growing is adapted to live in wet soil. Okay. And these are the three types of hydrophilous, that is grasslands: xerophilous, mesophilous and hydrophilous grasslands. Then third one, that is vegetation of ponds and lakes. And this is the nature of the aquatic vegetation of ponds and lakes is influenced by the availability of oxygen, carbon dioxide and mineral nutrients, and nature of substratum and the depth of the pond or lake, then temperature and light intensity of water column. And there we can see, in general, hydrophytes are growing in these areas are grouped under 4 main categories. That is, in ecology, pond ecosystem, you already studied that one, that is rooted or fixed and emergent hydrophytes. Here in this photograph itself we can see this lotus nelumbium, and they are rooted, but its leaf area is now floating or emergent above the water column. So that is the first category, that is rooted or fixed and emergent hydrophytes. Number 2, rooted and submerged hydrophytes, that is, some here we can see some water plants are there, and it is, of course it is rooted, but it is not protruding their leafy parts, it is completely submerged. That is, for example, Hydrilla, Utricularia, Vallisneria are examples. Then the third one, that is rooted and floating hydrophytes, that is the Nymphaya, Nelumbium, like that. Then free floating hydrophytes, some for example Wolffia, Salvinia, Eichhornia, all these are free floating types. So these are the normal vegetational types of ponds and lakes. So the in a particular pond, we are not able to expect the 4 types are present in that area. That is, it depends on the oxygen, carbon dioxide and mineral nutrients and nature of substratum, and also the light availability, then depth, temperature, and all these factors are affecting the types of hydrophytes which are growing in ponds and lakes. So the fourth one, that is vegetation of seashore. So seashore vegetation includes mangrove or littoral forests, sand dune vegetation and beach jungles. There are 3 kinds, there are the probability of 3 kinds of vegetational types we can expect near to the seashore. What are they? Mangrove vegetation, or it is otherwise called littoral forests, then sand dune vegetations and beach jungles. So then now we can discuss one by one. What is the meaning of this mangrove forest, sand dune vegetation and beach jungles? And sand dune vegetation, from sand dune first, that is mangrove vegetation is, that is mangrove flora occur near estuaries. In India, we can see this thick mangrove forests in Sundarbans, Andaman Nicobar Islands and some part of Kerala, and near to the rivers like Mahanadi, Krishna, Kaveri, Godavari, and some coastal regions of Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, of course Kerala. We can see this mangrove vegetations. Here we can see mangrove forest is there, and it is a very thick forest, but all the vegetation is coming under halophytes. So such forests we can expect near to seashores. Then the sand dune vegetation, that is, these are nothing but it is found on sea coast, where only those plants which can tolerate exposure of moving or loose soil. Okay. And high tides we can expect water will come to this dunes, and sometimes in low tides the sand dunes are exposed. So, it is a very harsh climatic conditions. So, the successful plants grow in the constant accumulation of this sand or burial to the sand. Then we can see, for example, this is the second figure, and this is the species, that is the Ipomia pescaper, and it is in our area. In Savannah itself we can see this plant. It is with showy flowers, Apocynaceae, flower, that is the tubular, the bell shaped flowers we can expect, that is purple colored flowers, and it is this Ipomia species. And here it is, we can see the desert climatic condition, it is very evident. Here we can see the cactus, and here we can see here and there some sparse arrangement or sparse production of some grass, and these are the types of sand dune vegetation. Okay. Then what is the meaning of this beach jungles? That is, these are found near to sea coast in Andaman, Orissa, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Mumbai. And here we can expect sandy soil. Here you can see the sandy soil having large amount of lime, but poor in other mineral content. The temperature is moderate and water table is only a few meters deep. Then we can see some mangrove associates, succulents, and then some pandanus, coconut like trees are growing in this area. So, this may create some small jungles, and such jungles are called as, that is the biodiversity. When suppose we are studying about the beach jungle is very low, only we can expect near to 25 or 30 species is there, and such jungles which are growing near to the sea coast area is called as beach jungles. And this is the it is actually a small portion, that is the coming to the type of questions. You can get a former question, that is vegetational types of India, or in rare occasions you can expect an essay question, that is write an essay on vegetational types of India. Okay, then you should write about all these points in a single answer. Then, and also what are the forest types of India, what are the types of grasslands, 2 marks you can expect beach, jungle, likewise. So, it is very simple to answer, and try to study in detail, and if you are having any doubt, please ask. Okay. And then next only one portion is left, that is phytogeographical areas, that is phytogeographical regions of India. That is a single portion left. So, in the next class we will try to finish our whole portion from this semester. Okay. And study well, and if you are having any doubt, please ask. Thank you.